Lee and Trudy retired, went to Mexico, and bought a boat in a boatyard where they adopted Blondie. Ending their third year of living aboard La Brisa, they enjoy sailing in Mexico, exploring new anchorages, and life in general. Hi everyone. Well, once again, I am in California. I had some microsurgery to remove a little bit of skin cancer. All is well. It was really hard for me to leave the boat in La Paz and come north. Really gotten into cruising. I just love it. So let me tell you about what we love so much about it. What was it that finally caused me to be comfortable enough with cruising to admit to loving the lifestyle? Goodness knows I get anxious enough. For example, when we splash, will everything go well in the slings? Will there be any leaks? And will the engine start? This last time was no different, but I now realize that maybe I thrive on the spice the uncertainty adds to my life. So, if you're keeping track, an appetite for a little uncertainty or adrenaline rush is part of cruising life. With no problems in the slings, no leaks, and the motor starting just fine, we moved across the bay to Marina Fonatur in downtown Guaymas. There we finished our provisioning, and I had a project of attaching rescue streamers to our life vests. According to the rescue streamer website, it is used by the military and is deployed by the man overboard to increase visibility for rescuers. The streamer, when deployed, is 25 feet long and is even visible at night. Our friend Scott brought it to our attention. The streamers are not cheap, but after thinking about it for a few months, I bought one for both Lee and me. The project was to attach them to our life vests so they would always be available if we were wearing the vest. The loop in the back of the sheath is obviously intended to fit a belt, but I wanted it to be easily reached on the front of our vest. My life vest, a West Marine offshore inflatable vest, has some nice features, including a zippered pouch pocket, but it was not large enough to accommodate the rescue streamer sheath and still be able to seal along the Velcro edges. Lee's vest has nothing fancy, and I had previously sewn on a loop so a flashlight could be attached. I ended up running a piece of webbing through the sheath loop and sewing both ends of the webbing to the outer vest covering, thereby permanently attaching the sheath to the vest. I then sewed on elastic loops for the streamer clip to attach to. Hopefully, we will never have an occasion to test the efficacy of the streamers. Now we were ready for our crossing to Baja and were waiting at Fonatur for a weather window. In the early evening, 3 days before our anticipated weather window, we heard nearby gunshots. So I looked in the following day's paper. It was Monday, the 2nd of December. On the front page, there's a story of the rescue of 4 young people who climbed a nearby peak. The governor of Sonora inaugurates the ice rink in Hermosillo at the children's park. There's a suspension of street food sales because of sewage backup. Going to the police blotter on the back page, there's an article here about the assassination of the father of El Fafo. He was 55 years old, took place at noon on Sunday.
Actually, the son had been assassinated a couple weeks before that, about a quarter mile away from Marina Furniture, but not the shots that we heard. And then flipping through the paper, there it is, next to the social page, which is kind of weird, but execution of a man on Avenida Cerdán took place right in front of the SAT building. This is the fence that faces the Marina Furniture property, and the boats would be over here. So quite alarming and very tragic.
Gun-related violence has sadly increased in Guaymas Centro, and from my perspective, it appears the victims are gang and or drug-related. Foreigners do not seem to be targeted, but of course there is always the possibility of a mistake or a stray bullet. While I love staying at Furniture because I love Guaymas, we stayed on the marina property at night and only went out during the day. So another facet of cruising life. One superficially becomes part of the culture and feels the pain of the community when walking past the flowers woven in the fence and the blood on the ground. 2 days later, we cleared Cabo Aro at 1 a.m. when the wave height prediction on Predict Wind indicated the waves were flattening out on the sea after a series of northers. We motor sailed with light north winds, and 29 hours later, dawn found us with the familiar sights of Baja in view. We were in a hurry, and with the angle we were able to make Timbabiche, one of the southernmost anchorages before the San Jose Channel. We stayed a night and 2 days at Timbabiche. When a norther blows there, swell wraps around the headland and the anchorage becomes quite rolly. While not the most comfortable situation, I was pleased to discover that I was not stressed out about the boat dragging or the rocking and rolling like I would have been a year ago. Time and experience have given me more confidence in my boat and ground tackle. Unlike me, Lee never seems to worry.
What are you saying?
Sunshine, yeah.
What?
I'm saying, oh, less than sunshine.
A late afternoon departure from Timbabiche on the heels of a norther and a night sail through the San Jose Channel found us closing in on Bahia Falsa outside of La Paz at dawn. Blondie seemed to know exactly where she was as we picked up the scent of the coast. This was an extremely fast crossing for us. We would have preferred to take our time sailing down the coast and enjoying different anchorages, but we had a deadline. Yes, we did it to ourselves again with our delayed splash and not having enough time before our daughter's scheduled arrival in La Paz. We knew we had to move fast whenever a weather window presented, so we would not get caught in a situation where we were forced to sail in bad weather. Hopefully, next year we will plan differently. We overnighted at Bahia Falsa before moving to Marina Costa Baja and just before the arrival of the next norther. In the next episode, we will talk a little about Christmas in La Paz, more adventures in Bahia Falsa, and also Caleta Lobos. When I did the intro for this video,
I surprised myself with the statement, I love cruising. In the Mogote anchorage, across from La Paz, as I packed for this trip to California, I looked around me and thought about how hard it was to leave Lee, Blondie, and La Brisa. This boat, La Brisa, is now truly my home, and I can hardly wait for our next adventure aboard. So until then,